Admittedly, the signs of a deepening silver shortage are too strong to ignore. We've said it many times. The market is simply waiting for the right moment, whatever this means, to bring the price of silver more in balance with the silver supply squeeze situation. The moment might be now. If the above is true, which we believe it is, then it makes so much sense that silver will largely outperform gold. Connection established. This week's deals at Miles Franklin are the beautiful 1-ounce silver Krugerrands, only $3.10 over spot. We also have 10th ounce gold maples, $35 over melt. That's a minimum of 4. And last but not least, 1-ounce palladium bars, only $119 over spot. Email, text, or call me, slayer@milesfranklin.com. We have a massive inventory, all the best prices around. I'd be happy to help. That is slayer@milesfranklin.com. Now let's get into the video. In 2 weeks, I'm going to be jumping out of an airplane, skydiving. But for you, that's not even going to be the most exciting part, because once I'm up in the air, right before I jump out, I'm going to say 2 people's names, and those 2 people will be winning silver. So I'm going to be doing a giveaway while skydiving. The only thing is, the entry video is not going to be live for too much longer, so go enter or you will miss your chance to win silver. Now, I found a very interesting article from investinghaven.com titled "A Stunning and Must-See Silver Price Chart." Among thousands of charts we continuously track, there is one that truly stands out. The monthly silver price chart is absolutely stunning. Now remember, this site covers stocks, commodities, lithium, cryptocurrency, all types of stuff, but they mention out of thousands that silver stands out the most. The monthly silver price chart is simply stunning. It's the most powerful chart in financial markets, not just for April of 2024, but for the entire year. Oh, when is your bullish silver prediction going to materialize, end quote, is what many people have been asking us. Quote, wait and see, relax, be patient, end quote, was our default answer. April 2024 seems to become a big month for silver. A lot of people are impatient. Sometimes they forget the bigger picture. They're so caught up into the day-to-day price action, or hoping that it's going to do something by next month, hoping that silver's going to reach $50 within the next 2 months, with this almost like unrealistic expectation, which is very dangerous on many different levels. When you're investing off of fear, you're not thinking rationally. You don't have time to step back and think, okay, well, what is the best option? You're doing it almost out of impulse. It's called impulse buying and panic selling for a reason. And when you have this expectation of silver doing something within a very short time frame, even if it did, that wouldn't be good. It has to build up to these higher prices. Someone asked me earlier today if they thought gold would jump back down again, and it's like, I don't think so, because gold is stabilized at these high prices now. Gold has comfortably been sitting at these extremely high prices for way too long for it to jump back down to $1,800–$1,900. It just doesn't seem likely. But if it did so within a couple of months, then yeah, that's very likely. Same thing with silver, stabilizing around the $25 range. I doubt we'll ever see $22 silver again. It's just not likely. Regardless, we do got to remember one thing, that this is called a silver stacking strategy. We're strategizing. See, investors make strategic decisions based off information. Gamblers just throw money at the wall and pray that it sticks, with the odds highly against them. The odds are highly against you when you're gambling. Investors tweak the odds in our favor using information, and the information shows us that silver is a ticking time bomb. While we do realize that the month has just begun, we also have sufficient evidence that this cycle is very bullish for precious metals. Our gold forecast 2024 is already achieved. It might be crushed during this quarter. Below is the monthly silver price chart over 20 years. While the 50-year silver chart is impressive, We need a shorter time frame to understand the medium-term impact of the dominant patterns. The 20-year silver price chart could not have been any clearer than this. A clear and powerful silver breakout is ongoing. The upside target remains $34.70, which might be hit in May of 2024 already. Now you can see this huge cup and handle. This cup took 30 years to form, and then the handle was 11 years, which is just insane. It is absolutely insane when you look at how big the cup and handle actually is. So is the silver shortage pushing prices higher? Presumably yes. The silver supply squeeze might be the catalyst for this secular and beautiful silver price breakout. And that's what I've been saying for years. I've been saying silver's going to ride off of gold for all the reasons that gold benefits, whether it's the safe haven metal, it's a store of wealth that has intrinsic value. As the dollar declines and people start to lose trust and faith and hope in the government and banks, silver's going to ride that wave too. But silver has something else going for it. There's also a massive shortage. Silver Institute predicts that silver demand will reach the second highest level ever recorded this year. Get a breakdown of silver demand by industry. Now, admittedly, the signals or the signs of a deepening silver shortage are too strong to ignore. We said it many times. The market is simply waiting for the right moment, whatever that means, to bring the price of silver more in balance with the silver supply squeeze situation. The moment might be now. If the above is true, which we believe it is, then it makes so much sense that silver will largely outperform gold, as it should, since the gold to silver ratio is still so high. A lot of people think when I say, or when they say at least, that silver is going to outperform gold, like we're rooting for silver, like we're like, oh, don't, gold sucks, we want silver to do better. It's not about that. It's just the signs are showing that silver is likely going to, because gold is already at all-time highs, where silver is just nearly above half of its all-time high. So it has a lot of catching up to do, and it always does catch up. It just lags a little bit. So that's why people are saying this. How much higher can the price of silver go? That's a great question. It's very simple. In all of our forecasts and analysis, we have always mentioned $34.70 as the first bullish target for silver. Note that this is not the ultimate target, as longer term, it's clear silver wants to break past $50. If there is a time when silver could move to $34.70, it would be and should be in this current 3-month cycle, which started on March 1st, 2024 and runs until May 31st, 2024, which is actually very interesting that if we keep running up to $34.70, it doesn't seem too crazy if the markets keep doing what they are doing and then more hype keeps catching on. Because that's another thing. Silver is a very small market compared to gold. So when money flows into silver, it affects the price more than gold, which is a much, 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 much bigger market than silver. It's also why silver is more easily manipulatable. That's why banks manipulate silver, because it's such a small market that it's easier to do so. And that's also why silver is more volatile. It will hit higher highs and also lower lows. It's a more extreme, more dramatic version of gold because it's a much smaller market. So once people start to hop on the silver bandwagon or trading gold for silver, which I've seen a lot of lately, then you're going to see the money flowing in to also exaggerate the prices, which could be great or dangerous depending upon which end of the spectrum you're on, especially if you are newer. Yahoo Finance also posted an article titled "Silver ETFs Outshining Gold." Investors in precious metals, such as gold and silver, grabbed immense investor attention last month on renewed expectations of U.S. interest rate cuts in June. A lower interest rate environment raises the demand for gold and silver, as the precious metals do not pay interest, making them more appealing than alternative investments like bonds. See, this is where gold and silver benefit, and this is where silver can ride the wave of gold. But then you have the supply deficit on top of this with silver, and that's why my name is Silver Slayer and not Gold Guy. So both yellow and gray metals are considered as a store of wealth for investors. They are often used as a means of preserving wealth during times of financial and political uncertainty, and usually do well when other asset classes struggle. Factors such as the forthcoming U.S. presidential election, the ongoing situations, Middle East, cross seas, the conflicts enhance both metals' attractiveness to investors, which is another really good point, and how they mention November and how that could also affect not only the economy, not only politically, but also the markets as well. Why is silver outshining? Silver has an edge over gold, as the gray metal is used in a number of key industrial applications. As the global economy is improving, industrial and manufacturing demand is picking up, driving silver prices. The white metal is used in a wide range of industrial applications. About half of the metal's total demand comes from industrial applications, while 30% comes from jewelry, silverware, coins, metal manufacturers, where most of gold is in that category. Most of gold is used for the money side, right? Bars and vaults for banks and necklaces and jewelry. You know, there is some gold in electronics. Don't get me wrong. You know, there's still some gold in electronics. I used to scrap gold out of cell phones and laptops as a hobby. But silver is predominantly what is used industrially. Gold is more the monetary metal, silver is the industrial metal. So the Silver Institute predicts 2024 to be a banner year for the metal, with prices potentially hitting a decade high. Global demand is expected to reach 1.2 billion ounces this year, which would mark the second highest level on record, given the continued strength of industrial end uses and a recovery in jewelry and silverware demand. The Silver Institute anticipates a 9% increase in demand for silverware, 6% rise in jewelry this year, with India expected to drive the jump in jewelry purchases. And the funniest part about this is all of the estimates, the guesses that they took were way off. Production, the supply, they thought would be up 2%. It was actually down 2%. They thought that demand would only be up like 4% or 140 million ounces, but it was actually up with a deficit of 140 million ounces, but it was actually 190 million ounces. So the numbers are actually much worse on both sides of the field. On the demand side, it's growing more and faster than we thought, and supply side is actually much lower than we were hoping for and thought. Then you have obviously the green energy movement with PVs and EVs and BEVs and solar. You know, there's so many different situations on the green factor. A lot of people don't realize it's not just the electric vehicles or the PV cells, photovoltaic cells, and solar panels, though. There's a lot of other uses, especially military. That's another one a lot of people don't really think of or overlook, but with all these wars going on and silver used in nukes and tanks and missiles and satellites and drones and rockets and surveillance, that's a whole other thing that could start to push silver higher as well. So you got to think about the bigger picture, and it's all pointing towards higher silver prices. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Remember, folks, make sure you subscribe, go in with the giveaway. I post daily videos. So make sure you like the video, comment down below what you think about all this. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I will see you guys later today. Peace.